Boom. Let's do this. So section 8, linear graphs using the slope-intercept method. Okay, so last class we did the X and Y intercepts. This class we'll do the slope-intercept method. And I showed you that formula. What is that slope-intercept formula again? Y equals what?
Y equals mx plus b.
Good. So your slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. Okay, so what we're going to do on these examples is write the slope-intercept form of each equation and identify the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, awesome. So I'll zoom in so I have more room to write. Dum, 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 dum. There we go. Perfect. All right. So number one, so basically, in order to put it into slope-intercept form, you are going to solve for y on every single problem. So our goal is to solve for y. So number one says 2y equals 3x plus 8. If I wanted to solve for y, I would divide everything by what number?
Yep.
2. Divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2, and we get y equals 3 halves x plus 4. There it is. There's our slope-intercept form. Now, what is my slope?
3 halves.
3 halves. What is my y-intercept?
4.
4. That's it. And I assume we'll be graphing these later on. So you can always put the y-intercept in the coordinate form 0, 4. That's it. Any questions on that?
Well, let's see. I see how you did it, but
Okay, what's up?
did you cancel out the y, the 2 over 2y?
Exactly. So when you divide everything by 2, those 2's over here cancel.
See, let's put the y. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. Cool. All right. Next one. Number 2. Negative 3y equal to 3x minus 9. We want to solve for y. So what are we going to divide by?
3.
But also negative 3. Because we don't want negative y, we want positive y. So you divide by negative 3, you divide by negative 3. Okay, and when I do that, we get y equals, and 3 over negative 3 becomes what?
0.
Negative 1.
Division. Negative 1. Good. So you get negative 1x. And negative 9 over negative 3 becomes
3.
Positive 3.
Positive 3. There you go. There's our slope-intercept form. Now, what is my slope?
Negative 1.
Negative 1. What is my y-intercept?
3.
3. That's it, guys. All good? For now, right? For now. All right.
Usually when you go away, it doesn't make any sense.
Hey, that's what happens in person and I guess on Zoom, right? Right when I log off Zoom, or you guys log off, it just deletes, right?
Is there a negative divided by negative or positive as well on the first one? Or is it
On the very first one or the second
on the one
one?
that you just did right now? Because you said negative 9 divided by negative 3, it's a positive 3. And over here is negative 3 divided by a negative 3. Why is it a negative x?
So good. Okay. So when we divide it by negative 3, first off, starting on the left side, negative 3 over negative 3 becomes positive 1, right? So that's why you get the positive y.
Yes.
And then 3 over negative 3. Positive over negative becomes
Oh, so that's, oh, okay. I thought it was the first one.
You're good.
Okay.
So good. So watch those signs, guys. Signs kill. They'll ruin everything that you're doing. Okay. 3. Again, solve for y. 2x plus 3 are equal to 15. We want y by itself. So what am I going to move to the right side? That's already on the right side.
Y.
2x,
2x. We need to get rid of that guy. I'm going to move him to the right side. And the only way to move him is by what operation?
Division or subtraction?
Subtraction. You subtract it, you subtract it. There's my operation line. And you get left with 3y equal to, and I'm going to put the 2x first. I like having the x's first. If you want to write it as 15 minus 2x, that's totally fine. But I'm going to write it as negative 2x plus 15. Or like I said, you can write it how you see it, 15 minus 2x. There's nothing wrong with that either. Just know that they are the same. Okay. And now we want to get y all by its lonesome. So what will you divide by?
Three.
3. Divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. And we get y equals negative 2/3 plus 5. Oh, I forgot something. Negative 2/3 x plus 5. Okay. And what is my slope?
Negative 2/3.
Negative 2/3. What is my y-intercept?
5.
5. There it is. Everybody good with that one? Good, good, good. Work in progress. Okay. Number 4, just like number 3, 6x minus 3y equal to 9. We want to get y all by itself, or we want to get negative 3y all by itself. So what do we move over to the right side?
6.
6x, right? And since it's positive, the only way to get it over there is to
Negative.
subtract it. Good. Here's my operation line, and we get left with negative 3y equal to negative 6x plus 9. Now, divide everything by negative 3. And I get positive y equal to what?
two x, minus 3.
There you go. 2x minus 3. Perfect. And what is my slope?
2x.
What is my y-intercept?
Negative 3.
There you go. Okay. Excellent. All good, all good? Yeah. Next. 5. All right. You have negative 3y equal to 12. We don't see any x's here, so we are just going to solve for y. And if I want to solve for y, I'm going to divide by what number?
Negative 3.
Divide by negative 3. And we get y equals what number?
4.
Negative 4.
Negative 4. Good. So since you do not see any x's here, your slope is going to be what number?
0,
0. And your y-intercept is going to be what number?
4, -4.
-4. There you go. And we saw this last time. Y equals -4 is what type of line? Horizontal or vertical?
Horizontal.
Horizontal. Okay. Cool. All right. Now, number 6, you have 1/2 x equal to 8. You don't see any y's, so we're just going to solve this for x. So if you have 1/2 x equal to 8, how do I get rid of that 1/2?
Can you multiply it?
Good. Multiply by what?
The reciprocal?
The reciprocal, which is what
Okay.
number?
2/1.
2/1. You got it. Multiply that by 2/1. Multiply that by 2/1. And we end up with x equal to what number?
Is it 4?
We're multiplying by 2.
Oh, multiply, my bad. Hold on.
16,
16. There you go. We could have even simply have said this. Take this 2 and multiply that 8. That's all we had to do. And you get x equals 16. Oh my goodness. All right. So we saw this last time as well. Is this a vertical or horizontal line?
vertical,
Vertical.
That is a vertical line. And this means that since it goes through x equals 16, you do not have a y-intercept and you do not have a slope. So that's what's crazy about vertical lines. Their slope is undefined. Vertical lines have no slope. And since it's x equals 16, your y-intercept is also undefined. You don't have one. So undefined. Because if I were to draw that on a graph, here's 16, and you would have a vertical line up and down. Doesn't touch the y-axis, therefore no y-intercept, and it doesn't have a slope. Vertical lines have no slope. Okay. Everybody good?
So it doesn't apply to horizontal lines though, right? Because they're going across the not across, but they're going with the x axis.
Exactly. So horizontal lines are parallel to the x-axis. So horizontal lines will always have a y-intercept, but they'll never have an x-intercept.
Okay.
Good. Oh yeah, and I guess I could state that here. Since it's vertical, it doesn't have a y-intercept, but it has an x-intercept at 16 and 0. Crazy, right? All right. Horizontal and vertical lines. Okay. Now, number 7. Same thing. Let's solve for y. Okay, look at this. 1/3 x minus 2y equal to 2/3. Work with the fractions or get rid of them. Work with them? Okay. All right. I guess so. So we want 2y, negative 2y all by itself. So who's moving over to the right side?
1/3,
We're going to subtract 1/3 to the right side. So we say minus 1/3 x minus 1/3 x. And here's what we have. Negative 2y equals negative 1/3 x plus 2/3. Okay. And now we want to solve for y. So you're going to divide everything by what?
-2.
-2. Oh my goodness. Who wanted to work with the fractions? How do we even do those?
See it out right.
How would you do 1/3, -1/3 divided by -2? So if I wrote that out to the side, -1/3 divided by -2, what would you guys do? Other than cry.
Wouldn't you put 1 under the 2 and then you can do the dot flip?
Good. We do KFC, right? You get -1/3 times the reciprocal of -2/1, which gives me -1/2, right? So you flip that and you get +1/6. All right. So we're getting there. So we have the first one, y equals +1/6x. Okay, but now we have to do it for the other one. So do it again. 2/3 over -2. Put 2/1 and keep the first fraction change to multiplication. And now it's going to be -1/2. And what's going to happen with our 2's?
Cancel.
Cancel. So what are we left with? -1 over
3.
3 -1/3. There it is. Okay, so there's our equation. And what's our slope?
One over 6.
And what's my y-intercept?
-1/3.
-1/3. Ooh, fractions. Lovely, right? Let's try it again. Look at that. Another fraction one. So 1/2 x minus 2/3 y equal to 4. Okay. So again, we want to get y all by itself. So who are we moving to the right side?
1/2.
1/2 x, right? So we're going to say -1/2 x minus 1/2 x. And we get left with -2/3 y equal to -1/2 x plus 4. Okay. And then we'll divide everything by what?
-2/3.
-2/3. Eek. Lovely, lovely. Okay, cool. So let's handle the first fraction work. That is -1/2 over -2/3. So we know to multiply by the reciprocal. And we get +3/4. So y equals 3/4 x. Okay. And then you handle the next fraction work. 4 over -2/3. And again, multiply by the reciprocal. 4 times -3 halves. What is 4 times -3 halves going to give us? I can put this 4 over 1. And could I cross cancel?
Yes.
So that 2 becomes a 1. That 4 becomes a 2. And we're left with 2 times -3, which gives me -6. There you go. So -6. There's our equation. Now what's my slope?
3/4.
3/4. What is my y-intercept?
-6.
-6. There you go.
Professor,
What's up?
okay. My calculator will give me the answer if I put it in fraction form.
Okay.
Do we have to do all that cross cancel, blah, 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 if our calculator does that? Do you want us to do that, or how do you want us to handle that?
No, you don't have to do all of that. That's why I erased that side work.
Okay,
Yeah. So as long as you know how to get to the setup, you're good. Okay. All right. So that is putting equations into slope-intercept form. Everybody good with 1 through 8? Okay. Cool. All right. Number 9, write an equation for a line with a slope of 3/4. So all this question is saying is take 3/4 and plug it in for which part of our y equals mx plus b, m or b?
M.
M. So we would just have y equals 3/4 x plus b. And from here, we can make any equation we want. Choose any number for b. Somebody give me a number for b.
2.
Perfect. Look at that. That's it. That is an equation for a line with a slope of 3/4. Or we can just have it as y equals 3/4 x. That's as simple as that's all we need. Okay. Then 10 says, write an equation for a line with the y-intercept of -50. So we once again take our equation, y equals mx plus b. And if they're giving us -50 as a y-intercept, does that go in for m or for b?
B.
B. So you get y equals mx minus 50. Now have fun with it. Somebody choose a random number for m.
3.
Y equals 3x minus 50. Perfect. The answers are unlimited because this is just like make something up. We can even write this. Y equals -50. There you go. All right. Any questions on those two? All right. That was nice. Okay. Now, use the slope-intercept method to graph the following lines. Okay. So number 11, we have 2x plus 3y equal to 15. We want to put this into slope-intercept form. So we have to solve for y. So who or what term is moving over to the right side?
2x.
2x. Good. Minus 2x, minus 2x. There's my line. And we get left with 3y equal to -2x plus 15. Then you'll divide everything by what?
3.
3, divide by 3, divide by 3. And we get our equation. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus 5. Okay, what's my slope?
Negative 2/3.
Negative 2/3. What's my y-intercept?
5.
5. Okay, so before we graph this, we have to know something about slopes. So there's some room down here before I graph. If you have, here, I'll draw little XY charts. If you ever have a positive slope, your graph will always start at the bottom left and finish top right. If you have negative slope, your graph will look like this. It will always go top left to bottom right. So when we use the slope intercept method, if it's negative, this means that our graph is going to have to look something like this. So I'll show you how to work it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is plot our y-intercept. Our y-intercept is at 5. So 0, 5 right there. Okay, and now since it is a negative slope, and remember, slope, what we learned a long time ago, slope is also known as rise over run. So this means that I have negative 2/3. So when it's a negative slope from my y-intercept, I'm going to rise 2 units. So I'm going to go up 2 units from the y-intercept, and I'm going to run 3 units to the left. 1, 2, 3. And that gives me my next point. Now do it again. From the point we just found, rise 2 units, 1, 2, and go to the left 3 units. Run to the left 3 units. There's my next point. Now we can reverse the process. Go back to your y-intercept, and now we're going to go down 2 units, 1, 2, and run to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. There's my next point. And if you're ever graphing by the slope-intercept method, the more points, the better. So I say 3 to 5 points is perfect. So let's just get 1 more point. So from the point we just found, I'm going to go down 2 units and run 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3. There you go. We have enough points. 5 points is great. Now just connect them. Can I connect these? Let's see. Straight as you can. I am not good this way. And there you go. All right, guys. Any questions on that? Did that bring back some memories, huh?
Nope.
Nope.
On that negative
Oh,
slope,
yeah.
the negative slope, you say start at the top left?
So for negative slope, well, your graph will look, so what I did this, when I drew these, is what your graph will look like. Does our graph look like that? Does it go top left to bottom right?
Yes.
There you go. So what I drew was just a picture of what your slope should be doing. So if you ever have negative slope, you should always go to the top left and down to the bottom right. Okay.
Write that down.
All right. Cool. All right. So let's do another one. All right. 12. Negative 5x plus y equal to 1. Here again, rearrange, solve for y. What needs to be moved over to the right side?
5.
At 5. It's negative 5x, so we're going to add it. There's my process line, and we end up with y equals 5x plus 1. Hey, look, good. It's already in y-intercept form. What's my slope?
5.
5. What's my y-intercept?
1.
1. Okay. And our slope is positive or negative?
Positive.
This is positive. So it's going to go from bottom left to top right. So that's what positive slopes do. Okay. So again, we start at that y-intercept. We go to 0, 1 right there. And now, since it's a positive slope, we're going to rise 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and run 1 unit to the right. Because you can also see the slope as 5 over 1. So it's the rise over the run. Okay. And then from that point, can we go up 5 more or do we run out of space?
Run out of space.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So then we'll just reverse then, and we'll start at the y-intercept. And now we're going to go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And to the left, 1. There's our next point. And I think we can do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And to the left, 1. There we go. We can only get 4 points. So let's graph those. And up, 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 up. And there you go. Cool. All right. Everybody good with that? Good. Okay. Number 13. Oh boy. All right. 5/8 x minus 1/4 y equal to 1/2. Okay. So who do you want to move over to the right side?
8.
5/8. So minus 5/8 x minus 5/8 x. And here's what we have. Negative 1/4 y equal to negative 5/8 x plus 1/2. And then divide everything by what?
Negative 1/4.
Negative 1/4. Okay, let's check out these fractions. So first one up is negative 5/8 over negative 1/4. And you get negative 5/8 times negative 4 over 1. We can cross cancel, and I can take a 4 out. So that becomes 1. That becomes 2. And we get left with negative 5/2. So y equals negative 5/2 x. Actually, no, it's positive, right? Because it's negative over negative and then negative times negative. So positive 5/2. Okay. And then the next fraction work, 1/2 over negative 1/4 multiplied by the reciprocal, negative 4 over 1. That gives you negative 4 over 2, which gives us negative 2. So minus 2. Okay, cool. There's our equation. 5/2 x minus 2. What is my slope?
-5 seconds.
5/2. And what's my y-intercept?
-2.
-2. Okay, we have everything we need to know. Well, almost. Our slope is positive. So this means we will look like this. Okay. So start at that y-intercept of -2. And we're going to go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And to the right, 2. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And to the right, 2. Let's get one more in there. Start at the y-intercept and go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And left, 2. And there we go. We can only get 4 points on there. So let's connect them. Okay, awesome. All right. I'll leave that up. Why not? Yeah. Again, 14. 1/4 x plus 1/2 y equal to -2/3. Who are you moving over?
1/4 x.
Minus 1/4 x minus 1/4 x. And we get left with 1/2 y equal to -1/4 x minus 2/3. And then divide everything by what?
1/2.
1/2. And fraction work again. -1/4 over 1/2 becomes -1/4 times 2 over 1, which gives me -2/4 or -1/2. So that's when we get y equals -1/2 x. Okay, and then -2/3 over 1/2. -2/3 times 2 over 1 gives me -4/3. Gross. Okay. -4/3. Okay, cool. So what is my slope?
-1/2.
-1/2. What's my intercept? Y-intercept.
-4/3.
-4/3. But we need to graph this. So somebody give me the decimal number for -4/3.
5.
1 1/4, -1 1/4. No,
Yes.
-1/1.33.
There you go. -1.33 repeating, right? Okay. So we have to put that in decimal number because we need to put it on our graph. So -4/3. Okay. So our slope is -1/2, which is negative, which means we'll look like that. Okay. So we will find, so 0 and -1.33. We're going to plot that. So there's -1 and -1.33. Sure, let's plot it right there. Okay. And for my slope, it's -1/2. So from this point, you'll go down 1 and over 2. And then do it again. Down 1 and over 2. Down 1 and over 2. And let's get One more, start from the y-intercept. Why not? Let's go up 1 and to the left 2. There we go. 5 points, perfect, and connect. Cool. Okay. That was still graphing. Okay, cool. So that is the slope intercept method. Everybody good so far? All right, 1 thumb, 2 thumb. We got this. Okay. Keep it going. Write the line in slope intercept form. Find both x and y intercepts, and what can you do to find another point on the graph? Okay, cool. So take this equation, negative 4x plus y equal to 0, and solve for y. So what do we add over to the right side?
-4.
Negative 4, right? So you add it over, and we'll get y equals positive 4x. Okay, well, based on this equation, what is my slope?
4.
4. What is my y-intercept? Do you see a b value anywhere in there?
No, so 0.
Good. 0. My y-intercept is 0, 0. Now this did say to find the x-intercept. So let's look at that. So if we want to find the x-intercept, remember we let y equal 0. So using this equation above, you'll have 0 equal to 4x. So how would I solve for x here? How do I get x all by itself?
Divided by itself?
Don't divide by x, but divide by the number attached to it. What could I divide by?
1.
4.
4. And 0 over 4 is
0.
0. And you get that 0 equals x. So my x-intercept is also
0.
0, 0. Okay, cool. So we have the x-intercept, the y-intercept, and we have the slope-intercept form. So the question says, what can you do to find another point on the graph? Well, we first plot the y-intercept, which is also the x-intercept. And how would I find another point? What would I use here?
The slope.
The slope. And our slope is positive, which means it's going to go down to the left, up and to the right. So if it's positive, I go up 4 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, and right 1. And do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and right 1. And then I'll go backwards. Down 4 from the y-intercept, left 1. Down 4, left 1. And there we go. So another way to find points is to use the slope. Boom. And boom. Okay, cool. All right. So that's good. And then number 16. plot the points 6, -2 and 8, -3, then draw the line that passes through them. Find the slope of this line by counting the rise over run between the 2 points. Okay, so I'm not going to draw the line until we find the slope. So let's go ahead and plot these 2 points. 6, -2, which is right here. 6, -2. And then 8, -3. 8, -3. Okay, so from point to point, if we want to know the slope, so from the first point, I would go down 1 unit and to the right 2 units. So what would our slope be?
One half.
1/2. But since I had to go down and to the right, it's going to be
Negative.
-1/2. Okay, which means we can find the rest of those points and draw the line. So from this point as well, I can go down 1 and over 2, and I get the next point. From the first point, I can go up 1 and to the left 2 to get another point. And then I'll do the same. Up 1, left 2, and there we go. 5 points is perfect. Okay, sweet. So everybody good with that page? Okay.
How many
What's
points did you say you had with that?
I had 5. Okay, cool.
Nice.
Dun, 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 7 minutes. We can do it. Okay. So the next example says, find the slope of the line through the 2 points, which means we need to know the slope formula. Anybody remember the slope formula?
Y2 minus Y1 divided by X2 minus X1.
Very good. M equals Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. That is the slope formula. And that is what we're going to use on these next problems. It says, find the slope of the line through the 2 points. So what we're going to do in order to follow the formula is label the points that we're given. So the first point here, 6, -2, will be my X1, Y1. The second point will be my X2, Y2. And if you label everything nice and neat, it makes it easier to plug into the formula. So let's try it out. M equals Y2, which we labeled as -3, minus Y1, which is labeled as -2, over X2, which is 8, minus X1, which is 6. Okay, cool. So look at your numerator. -3 minus -2. What happens to minus minus?
Turns into a positive.
Positive. And what is -3 plus 2?
-5.
-1 over 2. There you go. And that is the slope between those 2 points. -1/2. Okay. Again. 18. There's your X1. There's your Y1. There's your X2. There's your Y2. Set it up. M is going to be y2, which is negative 7, 6, minus y1, which is 5, 6, over x2, which is 5/3, minus x1, which is 2/3. Sweet. So in the numerator, negative 7, 6 minus 5, 6. We can subtract those two fractions because they have the same denominator. So what is negative 7 minus 5?
Negative 12 over 6.
Good. Negative 12 over 6 over, and what's 5/3 minus 2/3?
3/3.
3/3. All right. And we don't even have to do any reciprocating here because what is 12 divided by 6?
Negative 2.
Good. Negative 2. And what's 3 divided by 3?
1.
1. And you get negative 2 as our slope. Yeehaw. All right. Again, right? 19. There's my x1. There's my y1. There's my x2. There's my y2. Set it up. Slope is equal to y2, negative 3/8 minus y1, which is negative 3, over x2, which is negative 2, minus x1, which is 5. Okay. So a little bit of fraction work here. First off, what happens in the numerator? Minus becomes
Positive.
positive. Good. And what you're looking at is negative 3/8 plus 3. I have to put this 3 over 1 and get a common denominator of what?
8.
8. Good. And you get negative 3/8 plus 24 over 8, which gives me 21 over 8. So that's what goes up here. 21 over 8 over negative 2 minus 5 gives me negative 7. Okay. And then more fraction work. 21 over 8 over negative 7. Put that over 1. Reciprocate and you get negative 1 over 7. And we see that these can cross cancel. That 7 becomes a 1. That 21 becomes a 3. And we get left with negative 3/8. So that's our final answer here. Negative 3/8. Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right, 20. There's my x1, y1, x2, y2. M equals y2, which is negative 4/7 minus y1, which is 4/5 over x2, 1/2 minus x1. All right, more fraction work. Negative 4/7 minus 4/5. What is the common denominator between 7 and 5?
$35.
35. So we multiply this fraction by 7 over 7, this fraction by 5 over 5, and we get negative 20 over 35 minus 28 over 35, giving me negative 48 over 35. So that's in the numerator. Negative 48 over 35 over 1/2 minus 1. We don't need any fraction work for this. What's 50 cents minus $1? Negative 50 cents, right? All right. And then one last piece of fraction work. Negative 48 over 35 times the reciprocal of the denominator, -2/1. And you can't cross cancel here. So you're going to get 96/35. Oof.
Okay, back to the beginning where you did the 4/7. Did you put the 1/2?
Oh, should that have been? No, that was good. Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, when you first started, you said -4/7
Mm-hmm.
minus 4/5. On the bottom, you had 1/2 minus 1.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just put the 1/, you had 1/2?
So this part, like this part,
Yeah.
that became the -1/2.
And when you do it to one up here, well, you can't say it, but the
Which one?
Number 1
Like,
at times because of the parentheses.
oh, here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is 1/2 minus 1. That's what that is.
Oh, we're doing like the FOIL for this.
No foil. We're just following the formula like we've been doing on all of them, because that was x2 minus x1. So 1/2 minus 1.
Somehow I got that screwed up. Don't ask me how. It's not that hard.
All good. All right. We'll finish with these last two. Yeah, we're 2 minutes over, but all good. Okay. So these last two, these have no fractions involved.
Thank God.
All right.
Can we still go
So-
through it, even though we're a little over? Can we still go through it?
You want me to finish it?
Please?
I'll finish it. We're not far, right? So, I mean, if anybody needs to leave, they can, but remember, this is recorded. So, yeah, let's finish this. X2, Y2, and again, do slope. So -3 minus -3 over 1 minus 5. Okay. And again, in the numerator, that becomes plus plus. So what is -3 plus 3?
0.
0. And 1 minus 5 is -4. And what is 0 over -4?
0.
0. Good. All right. Perfect. And then do it again. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Slope, -7 minus 4 over 1 minus 1. All right. -7 minus 4 is -11, and 1 minus 1 is 0. What is 11, -11 over 0?
Zero.
Can you ever have 0 in your denominator?
No, you can never have a 0 in the denominator.
No. So our answer is undefined.
Define.
0 can never, ever be in your denominator. So remember this, guys. 0 over any number is 0. Any number over 0 is always undefined. Okay, cool. That is how you find slope. There's the formula. Everybody good? The fractions, yes, but we've done fractions already.
Yeah. I haven't slept
right.
since.
All right. So 23 and 24 about parallel and perpendicular lines. So it says use the following equations to answer the following. Y equals -2/5 x plus 5. 2x plus 5 equals 15. Find the slope of line 1. Find the slope of line 2. And what do you notice about their slopes? And what does it mean about their graphs? Okay, cool. So for line number 1, so to answer A, what is the slope for line number 1?
-2/5.
-2/5. All right. For B, we have some work to do. 2x plus 5y equal to 15. So in order to find this slope, we have to solve for y. So we're going to subtract that 2x over. So you'll have 5y equal to negative 2x plus 15, and then divide everything by what? 5. Okay, and you'll get y equals negative 2/5 x plus 3. So what is the slope from this equation?
Negative 2/5.
2/5.
Negative 2/5. Okay, so in A, the slope is negative 2/5. In B, the slope is negative 2/5. And does anybody know what that means? If two lines have the same exact slopes, this means they are what?
Parallel?
Parallel. Good. So that's what we say down here. So the slopes are parallel. The slopes are parallel because they are exactly the same, which means the graph will also be parallel. So our graph has parallel lines. Okay, that's it. That's what it means to be parallel. Your slopes are equivalent. I can even say slope 1 is equal to slope 2. Okay. 24. Let's do it again. Find slope of line A, find slope of line B, and let's see what we have. So for A, we have x minus 3y equal to 1. Solve this for y. Move that x over to the right side. And negative 3y equals negative x plus 1. Then divide everything by negative 3. And we get y equals positive 1/3 x minus 1/3. Okay, what's my slope here?
1/3.
1/3. Slope is 1/3. Okay. And then for B, we have y, oh my goodness, y minus 3x plus 4 equal to 1 minus 6x. Oh, they have to throw those. Don't they know we're trying to get somewhere? All right. Y minus 3x plus 4 equal to 1 minus 6x. So here we want to solve for y, which means we have to move both of these terms over to the right side. So I'll say plus 3x plus 3x. And I'll also say minus 4 minus 4. There's my process line. 3x is gone, 4 is gone, and we get left with y equals 1 minus 4, which is negative 3, and negative 6x plus 3x gives me negative 3x. Okay, now I said I like to put the x's first, so we can just simply rearrange it as y equals negative 3x minus 3. Okay, perfect. And what is my slope here?
-3.
Negative 3. Okay, awesome. So we see that slope 1 is 1/3 and slope 2 is negative 3. What do you notice about these? Forget the negative right now. 1/3 and 3, they are what of each other?
Reciprocals.
They're reciprocals of each other. But this slope is negative. So not only are they reciprocals of each other, they are negative reciprocals of each other. So that's what it means to be, guess what? If the first one's parallel, these two have to be
Perpendicular.
perpendicular. So that's what we say here. sexy little girl. Mwah. Go. All right. So slopes are negative reciprocals, which means the lines are perpendicular. Are perpendicular. Okay, there we go. And to put an equation on that, I can write that slope 1 is equal to the negative reciprocal of slope 2. So -1 over slope 2. So that's what it means to be a negative reciprocal. Actually, sorry, that should be over M1, which would be equal to M2. Okay, boom. And there you go, guys. That is it. Thank you for letting me finish.
Thank you. Thank you. This was awesome.
For sure.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, you too.
Brain's gonna explode.